All right, let's just jump right in. If you're in the events world, I've got a question for you. Think about an event you're working on right now, any event. And I want you to be really honest with yourself. Where do all the details for that event, the real final versions, where do they actually live?
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say your answer is probably everywhere. It's the answer we all give, right? It's the honest one, for sure. The one that's super frustrating, and it's probably the reason you're tossing and turning at night. But here's the thing, it's not your fault. It's just the nature of the beast. It's how these things grow.
So here's what we're going to break down. We'll talk about this everywhere problem, then we'll get into something I call the hidden search tax. We'll look at why the usual fixes just don't work, and then, the good part, how to finally give your event a real home. All right, let's dive into section 1. And look, I want to start by just saying, that feeling of chaos, it's real, and you're not crazy. Having information scattered all over the place doesn't mean you're a bad planner. It's just a byproduct of how events get built these days. But, just because something is normal doesn't mean it's good for business.
I mean, does this list hit a little too close to home? You've got your WhatsApp chats, endless email threads, PDF quotes flying back and forth, Google Drive folders, spreadsheets, notes on your phone, and, oh yeah, the scariest one of all, what's just living inside someone's head? The crazy thing is, every single one of these holds a little piece of the puzzle. But not one of them, not a single one, has the whole picture.
And listen, you can kind of juggle all this for a bit. It feels manageable. But it's a house of cards. It is so, so fragile because the second one tiny detail changes or a supplier pops up with a question or the client says, hey, remember that thing we talked about 3 weeks ago? Boom, the whole system just falls apart. And that's when the real work starts, the frantic searching.
And you fall into this ridiculous loop. You stop being an event manager and you become an information detective. You're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through chats, digging through emails, searching folders, and finally just giving up and asking your team, hey, does anyone remember what the final call on the arrival time was? It's exhausting. So all this searching, it's not just annoying. It adds up to something way bigger. It's a hidden cost. And I'm telling you, you're paying it every single day. So what is that cost? What's the real price you pay for all this chaos? It's not just the stress, it's not just the frustration. It is a real, measurable drain on the one thing you can never get back, your time. We call it the search tax. Think about it. It's all those little moments added up. Every time you have to hunt down the latest layout, or figure out which of the 5 PDF quotes was the one they actually approved, or track down the final guest count. Every one of those little searches is a tax. A tax you pay on your focus, on your creativity, on your productivity. And here's where it gets really crazy. One search, it's a minute, maybe 5, no big deal, right? But add them all up over the life of one event, and you're talking hours. Now, what about across all the events you're running this month? You are literally losing days of your life to this. Days. Think about what you could do with that time. Actually be creative, build client relationships, grow your business instead of just searching for stuff. Okay. So, we all know this is a problem, and we try to fix it. Of course we do. But the funny thing is, the tools we normally grab to fix it, they're actually part of the problem. It's a classic case of good intentions, but really, really bad systems. Let's take Google Drive, for example. We all say it, oh yeah, everything's in Google Drive, it's super organized. But what is it really storing? It's got the documents, the PDFs, the quotes. But what's missing? Everything. The conversations, the back and forth, the why behind the decisions, the context. It's not a management system. It's more like a document graveyard where files go to die. Then you've got WhatsApp. I mean, it's great for quick chats, right? Super fast, super easy. But for coordination? Oh man, it's a total black hole. Important stuff gets buried under 100 other messages. You can't search a voice note to save your life. Photos get lost. And before you know it, no one has any idea which message is the actual final decision. So what's the next logical step? We make a master spreadsheet to track everything. Perfect, right? Wrong. This actually makes things so much worse, because now you don't just have all that original info, you've created a parallel universe, a completely separate version of the event's reality. And this is the killer question. You've got the original info, and you've got the summary. Which one is correct? When the client emails you a change, do you remember to update the spreadsheet?
Does your team even know the spreadsheet was updated? All of a sudden, you're not managing one mess. You're trying to keep two messes in sync. It's a nightmare.
And the last resort, the final fix, is just your brain. Your memory becomes the central hard drive for the event. You're the one who remembers that quiet conversation with the client or what the supplier actually said on that phone call. And let me tell you, that is the most dangerous system of all. It can't be scaled, it can't be shared, and it makes you the single biggest risk to the entire event.
So if all these common fixes fail, what's the answer? Well, it's time for a fundamental shift in how we think about this. We have to stop trying to tidy up the mess after it's already been made. Instead, we need to give our events a real, dedicated home, right from day one.
I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? The core issue is that we're trying to run these incredibly complex, detailed projects using tools that were never, ever designed for this kind of work. They were built for simple chats and file storage. The tools aren't just failing us, the tools themselves are the problem.
And this leads to the solution. It's not about finding a slightly better spreadsheet or a new chat app. It's a whole new philosophy. It's about building a system where the event itself, is the center of the universe.
So, what happens when you actually do this? When the event is the center of everything? Well, for starters, you stop searching, because there's only one place to look. You stop repeating yourself constantly. You stop having to rely on your memory for every little detail. And get this, your team becomes independent. They don't have to text you for the latest update. They can just see it. Your suppliers stop bugging you with basic questions. And your clients, they feel calm, informed, and super confident. It's a total game changer. Ultimately, this is the big idea. The information doesn't live scattered all over the place anymore. It lives with the event. Imagine clicking on the floor plan and seeing not just the file, but the whole conversation about all the changes right there with it. Or looking at a quote and seeing the exact approval message attached to it. That's the difference. The information is connected to the event, giving it context, history, and creating one single, undeniable source of truth. So I want to leave you with this one last question, and I want you to really think about it. Are you actually managing your events? Or are you just managing the chaos of their information? Because there is a huge, huge difference.